Welcome to the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. I'm Allie Rose, certified clinical hypnotherapist and subconscious success coach. I help my clients stop self-sabotage and feel safe to create more wealth, worth, and wellness from within. If you find yourself stuck repeating the same unhelpful patterns in your life, health, business, or relationships, even after all the mindset work, this podcast is for you. Each week, you'll hear deep dives into the hidden beliefs shaping your life and live hypnocoaching sessions where someone shifts a block in real time. Because willpower isn't the problem, your subconscious story is. And when you shift it at the root, everything else begins to change. So let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. In today's episode, you'll hear a raw, honest, and deeply moving hypnocoaching session with our caller, a longtime educator, spiritual seeker, and passionate advocate for supporting the inner world of boys and their families. She came in with a powerful pattern many of us carry, the belief that we have to suffer in order to succeed, that success must be earned through struggle, hardship, and emotional suppression. We begin with conscious conversation and then move into the subconscious where those beliefs were formed and where real change becomes possible. As always, for privacy and safety, portions of the session have been gently edited. But what remains is the heart of the transformation. As you listen, consider, is there a part of you that believes joy or ease must be earned? When did you first start believing that struggle equals worthiness? And what would success look like if it didn't require suffering? Let's dive in. It's so great to connect with you.
Yes, well, thank you for making the time for me.
All right. So tell me a little bit more about what specifically you want to focus on for today's session. Is it business burnout? Is it lack of clarity? Is it lack of hope? What does it feel like for you?
Actually, I have been thinking a lot about it in preparing for today or preparing myself in my mind, trying to think of what the best use of this time is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm actually tomorrow I will be 71,
Mm-hmm.
and I have spent my whole life trying to understand myself and others. That's just who I am.
Right.
And I believe in quite a deep spiritual world. Like I kind of grew up with a New Age movement at my back door, and so I believe that I have chosen this life that I have.
Right.
I have decades of validation that I am being cared for, that
Mm-hmm.
I can trust the universe or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that I chose certain challenges to have in order to give me an opportunity to grow.
Right.
So, so at this point in my life, I know quite a lot about myself. When I was an infant, I got very sick and was hospitalized for a number of months. It was the time that it was just different. So my mom, I guess she was there, but she couldn't touch me. She couldn't comfort me. And so from what I understand, what I've gone into, I do have abandonment issues, and that has come out in certain adult behavior, which I'm aware of, and I work on that all the time. So that's one part of I think is a core problem. And I have tried things to deal with that. Like someone took me through what's it called? The internal family system, and
Right.
had that talk with my mom and all that. But it didn't really work for me.
Mhm.
And so I know that about myself. I also know that I would today be classified as a highly sensitive person. And that's always been something that affected my self-esteem and my feeling of being different, like not being like everyone else.
Mhm.
I know for a couple, maybe a year and a half ago or so, I got into or I was exposed to human design. And
Mhm.
I came to understand that I am a projector, which again was very self validating that I am not the only person who feels like this, acts like this. And it also helps me understand some of my challenges as far as needing to be validated, needing to have proof that
Mm.
people see how I can help them, how I can
Right.
do whatever. Uh, and I'm a Leo. And so when I was trying to think, I think everything comes back to abandonment issues.
Right.
But it's also, I have been such a staunch believer in trust and surrender. And
Mhm.
I completely thought that at this point in my life, I knew what it was going to look like. I knew I was going to retire from a full 40 years plus in education.
Mhm.
And I knew I was going to retire. I was going to focus my energy on what I'm passionate about, which is supporting the inner world of boys
Right.
and their parents and their caregivers. And I knew that I was going to work hard to start up that business. I was going to write a book. But in my mind, there was no chance of that not being successful.
Right.
Like I have been given all these examples for my whole life that I
Right.
could trust and surrender.
Mhm.
And so now I'm 5 years in.
Mhm.
There have been successes in certain things. It's taken me on a road and a path,
Right.
but financial success has not been one of them. 2 years ago, my husband had a stroke,
Mhm.
and he's quite fine in the majority of ways. But I had said clearly at that time, so it's getting close to 2.5 years now, I said, "You don't need to worry about finances. I've got it. I know my business is going to take off. So you
Right.
don't need, just you worry about your health." So 2 years have gone by, and, so now he is out a couple of times a week working, not, anyway. And so there is an extreme sense of guilt
Mhm.
and fear, which I take out on him.
Mhm.
So I'm quick tempered with him.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like a constant failure. But
Mhm.
more than that, it is my core belief that I could trust and surrender.
Mhm.
And it feels like I have lost that. Like,
Mhm. Okay. So, first, thank you for sharing all of that with me. I can hear and I can understand how it would feel so frustrating, especially because I can hear from you. There's a deep conviction, a deep sense of I do trust and I do believe that I have a purpose and a path. So I can imagine that it's frustrating to then not see that, the fruition of that,
mhm,
right, in your life. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to a part of you. I know you said you've done IFS, so it's somewhat similar to IFS. It's probably a little bit different. But what would you say is the core part of you? Is it the part of you that has fear? Is it a part of you that feels guilty? What do you feel like is the biggest blocker to you seeing the success or making the movement forward?
I think some of it, again, I've been thinking about this and trying to
Right.
be clarified. And I keep having a memory of when I was in my early 20s, and I went back and lived at home for 2 years while I taught my first 2 years of teaching. And I remember my dad and I are, like, I love him more than anybody else in the world. And he said something to me. He said something to the effect of, you, I think I deserve this better life or whatever.
Mhm.
I have not paid the dues. Like, I don't have that right. And so there must be some meaning behind that, because that still sticks with me. And
Mhm.
I wonder if that's connected, if that's why I can't find success because that's unconsciously
Mhm.
holding like, I don't know, it's just that was a
Sure.
thought.
Right. So we want to just have some language that's really specific. So when we go in, I'm going to say, we're going to find the part of you. So is it the part of you that doesn't feel like you can find success? Is that the part that you feel might be holding you back? Or
Maybe, but
the part that's struggling to find success?
the part of me that thinks I have to suffer more
Mm.
before I can accept success.
Great. Because what we're going to do is we're going to let your subconscious just show us what the connection is. So, what I have down is that we're going to talk to the part of you that thinks you have to suffer more to succeed. Does that
Mm.
sound good?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So, is there anything else you think would be important for me to know before we dive in, or are you ready to?
I think I've dumped it all out there.
Okay, no, you're totally fine. All right, wonderful. So, I'm going to ask you to start with your eyes open. So, go ahead and look up as high as you possibly can, as if you are trying to look into your own eyebrows, keeping your eyes glued to a real or imagined spot overhead. Just breathe in and out. Take another deep breath. Breathe in and out. And each time you blink, that's hypnosis coming upon you. And just one final time, take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. So every time I say the words, go deeper, you're just becoming more and more relaxed. So just one more time, go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper, at least 100 times deeper. That's perfect. You are responding perfectly, exactly as I knew you would, because I already know that you are incredibly open, receptive, and suggestible, and your mind is incredibly powerful. So now we're going to explore this part of you that thinks you have to suffer more to succeed. So I want you to just imagine that you've gone inside yourself, you've turned your eyes inward. You found the part of you that thinks you have to suffer more to succeed. I want you to take a moment and just scan your body. And when you find that part of you that thinks you have to suffer more to succeed, I want you to tell me, where do you carry that part of you in your body?
You just
And I want you to just imagine that you're reaching in and you're pulling that part of you out of your chest. What does that part of you look like? Does it have a color, texture, shape, or size?
not a shape.
Okay.
It's malleable
Hmm.
and gray and just fills up both hands trying to pull it out.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about that part of you that thinks you have to suffer more to succeed? What emotions come up for you?
Disappointment,
Okay.
frustration,
Hmm. And you feel disappointed because?
Because I'm not strong enough.
Okay. And you feel frustrated because?
I think I should be strong enough.
Right. Okay. I want you to just continue to imagine that part of you in front of you. And I want you to ask that part of you that thinks you have to suffer more to succeed, what is your role in my life? Why are you here?
Push me to be better, to do better.
Mhm. I want you to ask that part of you, why does it need to do that? Why does it need to push you?
Because my thinking is wrong.
And why is your thinking wrong?
Because it's different.
Mhm. Okay. I want you to go ahead and take another deep breath in. And I want you to ask that part of you that thinks you have to suffer more to succeed, what is your function in my life? How are you helping me?
Protecting me.
Mhm. And I want you to ask it, what are you protecting me from?
Pain.
Any specific pain or just pain in general?
Heart pain.
Heart pain?
Yes.
Like heartache?
Yes.
Hmm. Okay. Now I want you to ask that part of you, what is your purpose in my life?
To help me get stronger.
And why does it need to do this?
Because I feel things too deeply.
Okay. Take a deep breath in. You're doing great. That part of you is doing great. And I want you to ask that part of you, what is your only intention in my life?
To support me.
And why does it need to do that?
Because my emotions are too raw.
Okay. And if your emotions are too raw, then what happens?
I feel too deeply. It hurts.
What hurts?
Feeling everything. Thinking everything is my fault.
Okay. And I want you, the part of tell me, what was going on in life when you first came into her life?
The image that I'm getting is a young girl
Hmm.
sitting sitting under the piano
Mhm.
and my grandmother playing the theme song from Bambi. And I was crouched under there because um,
Okay.
it was so painful to think about Bambi losing his mom.
Mm. Yeah. Did anything else happen when you were crouched under? Did your grandmother notice that you were there? Did anyone else notice that you were there?
No,
Mhm. What did that cause you to believe about yourself, the world, or other people when that happened as a young girl?
I'm different and I need to hide that because people don't want to see that.
Mhm. How do you feel like that shows up in your business now? What parts of you do you hide?
I hide my vulnerability. I don't talk about spiritual things because I don't think a lot of people would accept that about me.
Hmm.
I don't talk about all these things that bring me joy. I keep my focus on my mission and only show that much.
Mm. Right. Okay. So, how do you feel about this part of you now? Is it working for you to continue to believe that you have to suffer more in order to succeed?
No, something's not working. No.
Mm. Right, right. So I'm going to just offer what I feel what is coming up for me. You can take it, you can leave it, you can let me know if it resonates or not. I feel like when you were very young, you started to believe that you're different and you are, sensitive, empathic, and that you need to hide that because people don't want to see that. So I believe that you created this part of you that kind of toughened you up, right? So that it could push you, protect you, help you get stronger because you believe that the softer parts of you were different, wrong, or bad. Does that resonate at all?
Yeah, very much.
Okay. So we can see why you came up with this part, right? But I think we can also see that it's not really working for you anymore because it's not giving you the success that you want or the outcomes that you want, right?
Right.
The beautiful thing is that if you came up with it, that means that you can let it go. Do you know about how old you were whenever you were sitting under the piano?
3, 4, around
Okay.
then.
Mhm. Okay. So I want you to go back to that age when it first came into your life, and I want you to tell me, how are you different now than when you were 3 or 4 years old?
I'm more confident. I'm stronger.
Mhm.
I'm wiser.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask you, are you ready to let that part go? This part of you that makes you feel like you need to suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's a gatekeeper of your vulnerability, it, of your
Mhm.
spirituality, of your joy. And then it doesn't allow you to let those things out and infuse into your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want you to ask that part of you, bring it to your mind's eye again, that big gray part of you that you pulled out of your chest. I want you to ask it if it's ready to leave. It is?
It is.
Okay. Now I want you to ask it because it's been protecting you for a really long time. And so sometimes when we have protector parts, they're ready to leave, but they kind of need a little reassurance from us, or they need to know that we're going to do something or stop doing something. Is there anything that it needs? I want you to ask it. Is there anything that it needs in order to feel fully safe to let go?
It needs me to trust and surrender.
Okay. What does that look like practically day to day in your business, in your life?
Being present, being grateful, finding joy, letting the fear go.
Right. Kathy, I wonder if you'd be willing to be a bit more vulnerable, talk about your spirituality, talk about the things that bring you joy more often.
I want to.
That feels like the biggest piece that maybe needs to be surrendered is that you're hiding who you are. You don't have to do it all at once, but I wonder if you can take baby steps to do that.
I am so fearful of losing people.
Who would you lose?
Maybe people that don't know me that well.
Those people were never meant for you then.
Yeah.
The one thing I know is that we were all created to be who we are authentically. And I feel like this part of you, it served its purpose. It came into your life to help you be stronger, right? To protect you, to push you to be better, do better, to maybe look more like other people because it didn't feel like you would be accepted as you were. But now it's interesting because I feel like the thing that was supposed to protect you, make you stronger, make you do better, be better, I think it's the very thing that's blocking you from the success that you want to see in your life and business because I think that people can sense that maybe you're out of alignment. So I feel like this is the biggest piece of surrender that you're being asked to do is allow yourself to be fully seen in your spirituality, in the things that bring you joy. Infuse those parts of who you are into your work. And again, it doesn't have to be all at once, right? Because that can be really dysregulating. But sprinkles, little bits here and there that feel safe. How does that feel?
Well, feels like a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm. Hmm. Yeah. I want you to go back to that part and I want you to repeat after me. Thank you for helping me the way you did.
Thank you for helping me the way you did.
It's had a very powerful impact on my life.
It's had a very powerful impact on my life.
You've been protecting me for so many years,
You've been protecting me for so many years,
but now you're free to go.
but now you're free to go.
I don't need you in the same way anymore.
I don't need you in the same way anymore.
I'm no longer 3 or 4 years old.
I'm no longer 3 or 4 years old.
Now I want to just give you a minute to see what you need to see, feel what you need to feel, say whatever you might need to say to that part in order to let it go. You can say it out loud or you can say it quietly in your mind. And if you say it quietly, just let me know when you're done. Good. I want you to take a deep breath in now. And I want you to notice if anything has shifted within your body where you were carrying that part.
It's lighter, much lighter.
Mm, good. Good. And now I want you to just call to mind that image of you as a 3 or 4 year old girl sitting under the piano where your grandmother's playing the theme song from Bambi. You're feeling like it's so painful to think about Bambi losing his mom. And at that moment, it caused you to believe that you're different and you need to hide that because people don't want to see that. But now that you're an adult, you know better. You know that your vulnerability, your sensitivity, that it is your strength. So I want you to imagine yourself stepping into that scene where that 3 or 4 year old girl is. And I want you to say either out loud or quietly in your mind, whatever that 3 or 4 year old needs to hear. What does she need to know from you?
Maybe sensitivity is my superpower.
Yes. Anything else?
That I am good enough.
Yes. Anything else?
I can trust and surrender.
Do you feel complete with her?
I do.
Okay. And now I want you to just picture that small child, that 3 or 4 year old you, hovering just above your head. See them now slowly descending down, dropping down, merging into your body, merging into your heart, merging into your life now. You feel that child fully merged within you now. They are never ever going back because the child, the little you, is now taking up residence in you as an adult. They are free now. They've had a massive upgrade into your life. And you are free to be the person, the adult that you choose to be. Take a deep breath in and feel that child fully merged within you now. So, on the count of one, you're becoming more aware. On the count of two, you're aware of the room and the sounds around you. On the count of three and four, you're taking in a deep breath. And on the count of five, whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. How was that for you?
Very interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah, like very interesting. Um, you're good. Like you're very good. I don't think I have felt that mm, connected.
Mm,
Only when I have, had a session with a psychic or a medium
mhm.
or something like that. That's the only time that I have felt that deep of a connection to what was happening in the conversation. So thank you.
I love that for you. Yeah, you're very welcome. And thank you so much for trusting me to guide you through that process. It feels like an honor and a privilege to be able to do it. So, anything else you want to share before we close up, or do you feel complete?
I feel, yeah, I feel very complete. Thank you. I really
Abs-
thank you.
Absolutely. You're very welcome. And I really want to encourage you, listen to what that part needs from you. It needs you to just trust your vulnerability, your softness. That's all a part of the surrendering. It's like letting that wall down around those things. Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, I've spent my whole life trying to figure this out. And so I didn't think I would get something new to grab
Mm,
onto.
yeah.
And I have, and I think it's very big. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that we were able to make this work.
Thanks very much.
You're
Bye,
welcome.
Ali.
Bye bye. Thank you so much for joining us for this powerful session. What struck me most was how much she's already done to grow, heal, and show up for herself and others. And still, like so many of us, she carried a part that believed she had to struggle to earn her place, to prove her worth, to be strong. That part began when she was just a young child hiding under a piano, feeling the heartbreak of Bambi's loss, already sensing that her sensitivity was too much for the world. That moment shaped a lifetime of suppression, but it doesn't have to define her future. As you reflect on this session, I invite you to ask yourself, what part of you might still be guarding your joy, your softness, your sensitivity? What belief might be keeping you in cycles of overworking, overgiving, or under earning? And what might open up if you gave yourself permission to succeed without the suffering? If this episode stirred something in you and you're ready to explore the subconscious stories that may be holding you back, I'd love to support you. You can learn more or apply for a hypnocoaching session by visiting shiftyourstorypodcast.com or using the links in the show notes. I hope that this episode was helpful, and I'm sending you so much love and gratitude. Until next time. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us today for this episode of the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. If today's conversation sparked something in you, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to send me a message on social media. I'm at the Ali Rose on both Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to be coached on a future episode or explore what it would look like to work with me one-on-one, head over to shiftyourstorypodcast.com. And if you never want to miss an episode, make sure to subscribe and leave a rating and review. It helps more people find this work. Until next time, keep shifting, keep growing, and most importantly, I want you to remember that your story isn't set in stone. You always have the power to shift it.